My God, the cardiac clones. What's going on? And welcome to Postgame here on the Cyclone Fanatic stream. Give me your comments. Some of you obviously are listening on the Cyclone Fanatic podcast network later on as well. We welcome all of your thoughts. My name is Chris Williams. We are presented, as always, by our friends at Karl Chevrolet. I apologize for Peppa Pig in the background. This is dad mode tonight with the road game. Women just got done beating West Virginia. Great night, great day to be a Cyclone. Again, thanks to our friends at Karl Chevrolet. We appreciate that. I'm going to try and get your comments. I'm manning this all by myself here. I'll try and get all your comments up on the feed as much as I can while I still try and give you my analysis on Iowa State's 63-60 win over Oklahoma. First of all, another game where you just feel like Tamin Lipsey, I don't know if I'll call him the MVP, but he's damn close to it. I mean, I don't know how you don't give that to Caleb Grill tonight. 5 of 9 from 3, 10 threes in 2 games for Caleb. Fire up the grill as Iowa State's 2-0 in the Big 12. But Lipsey with those 2 strong takes at the end of the game in crunch time, doesn't look like a freshman out there. He was phenomenal. Tamin is just playing out of his mind. He's just so damn tough. 4 assists, 4 rebounds, played great defense throughout the night. Just what more can you say about that young man? I got a lot of good things to say. Obviously, this is a Big 12 road win, so any of them are really a big deal. But I love how Iowa State was able to, they give up that 20-0 run after starting off with the big lead, right? And you give up a 20-0 run and, really, really looked out of sorts. I thought that we saw a couple times tonight what we hadn't seen much of this year, where this team goes on those droughts, right? Where you saw that more with last year's team, where they would go 10 minutes without scoring. We haven't seen that much with this year's group. We saw that a couple times tonight. Now, 10 minutes only. They didn't quite get to 10 minutes, but it was close. The fact that they were able to battle back, and even throughout that time when Oklahoma starts hitting some shots, that's a situation where you kept with your defensive mindset, and that's what Iowa State does really, really well. They never got away from that tonight, and that was really impressive to me, even when the shots weren't falling. You forced 13 turnovers. I'm looking at all these stats for the first time tonight as I'm pulling this off. 14 points off of turnovers, 26 points in the paint for Iowa State tonight. We're going to go through person by person here because this was really a team win. I thought Oshun, he scores some points early. Obviously, he had the clutch free throws at the end. 8 rebounds was really the key. Iowa State doesn't win this game without Oshun hitting the glass probably better than he has all season long. So I want to point that stat out. I thought Oshun was phenomenal on the glass tonight. Guy who I want to give some props to is Jaren Holmes. Because when buckets started to get tough for Iowa State, and they did really for the middle chunk of that basketball game, we saw that Holmes runner that we saw a lot in that win over number 1 North Carolina. He only had 10 points tonight, 5 of 15. I'm sure Jaren isn't blown away with the way that he played, but during that chunk, when it was really, really difficult to for Iowa State to get anything going, Jaren was that tough guy, right? And he was phenomenal during that stretch. And that kept Iowa State in the game. It kept Iowa State, so they predominantly had the lead. Oklahoma only led for 1 minute and 8 seconds in this game, which is really incredible. It kind of felt like more. Iowa State gets up to the lead early, and but it felt like, but no, they led for 1 minute and 8 seconds in this game. And a lot of that, again, when you get to that, when it was tied, Holmes was really good, I thought. So I wanted to give him a shout-out in post-game tonight. Caleb, fire up the grill. Let's give props to our man. Props to our man, Caleb, fire up the grill. Really coming into himself. Tried telling a lot of people early, it was early in the year, I'm watching him, and he wasn't hitting shots, and people were like, well, why is he still playing 40 minutes a game? Because he's a damn good defender now. He's an elite defender. All Big 12 type of defender is Caleb Grill. And his shot he's just got so much confidence right now. And this is what you see. Guy's played 4 years. Game slowed down for him, right? He's ready to go. And there's nothing that Caleb hasn't seen. And he's really becoming one of Iowa State's most consistent players. Now, we've also seen Caleb go through stretches where he won't hit a shot for 3 games, and that's still possible. But don't take away from what the young man has done in major situations so far this season. I want to give a shout-out to Trey King. Okay, Trey King comes in. This is his 3rd game back in almost 2 years of not playing. He plays 21 minutes tonight. And you look at his stats and you go, he had 1 point, Chris. He had 4 rebounds. Dude was phenomenal on defense. Go back and watch the tape. You're going to love what you see from Trey King when you go back and watch the tape. He's been really, really good. Probably hasn't been praised enough in his first 3 games. I know he's exceeded expectations. They had pretty high expectations from him, but, man, he's been really good. Real quick, I'm just looking, too. Grill had 4 steals. I didn't point that out, that Caleb had 4 steals in that basketball game. So what's this mean? Well, you just stole one. You just stole one on the road. And now you're kind of playing with house money in the Big 12 Conference. You go to TCU coming up on Saturday. Now they're playing Baylor right now. We'll keep an eye on that basketball game and see how that turns out. But, Stansbury makes a good point early in the year, or earlier tonight during our preview show, that I'd rather play TCU at this point in the season than later on, and that's a good point. Iowa State's playing with as much confidence as it's had, and that's a very winnable basketball game coming up on Saturday. We'll talk more about that. We've got a corner 3 coming up. We got all sorts of stuff. Couple other things I wanted to hit on. Now, I mentioned even when Iowa State was giving up some points and couldn't make a thing offensively, they kept at it with defense. And I want to read some of these statistics to you. The number 1 stat of the game is Sherfield, the Nevada transfer. Boy, he got a welcome party to the Big 12 tonight, didn't he? Got into foul trouble early, was never really in a ton of rhythm. But he goes 1 of 7, 4 points, 4 fouls, and by far the worst outing that young man has had this season for the Oklahoma Sooners. The one kid, Cortez, just went crazy tonight. That was probably one of the best games he's ever played. But I just thought it was brilliant, a brilliant game plan on Sherfield that Iowa State drew up. What about the defensive stand Iowa State makes after Taman Lipsey got tackled? There was an open field tackle in the middle of the floor at the end of that on that inbound, and I saw it in the huddle. Kyle Green, my main man, Kyle Green, drawn up a beautiful defensive play for Iowa State. Got Oklahoma on that inbound, all sorts of confused, forced the turnover. Oshun goes down and hits the clutch free throws for Iowa State. But, man, this is a big one. On a day where you get the commitment from JT Rock, this is a great day for Iowa State basketball. The JT Rock commitment today, one of the biggest commitments in the history of Iowa State basketball. They go into South Dakota, and they get the young man who really could have gone anywhere in the country. I know everybody's excited about tonight's game, and you should be 2-0. Your analytics are going to love this one tonight. I haven't updated the Mr. Pomeroy's website. Let me just see if there's anything. Oh, yeah. Boom. Look at this. Jump from 40 to 33. Boom. Just like that. 40 to 33. Excuse me. Offense now at 101. Defense up to 9. Back in the top 10 defensively. That's a great win. That's a great win. You fought through adversity. Freshman Lipsey comes through in the clutch. Just a really, really, really solid outing tonight for Iowa State. What about the women? Just knocked out West Virginia. I have not watched that game yet. I will go back and watch that game here tonight after I get the little ones to bed. But just a really fantastic day. The JT Rock thing, again, we need to keep we need to keep. I need more time to talk about that and how big of a deal that is. But you're looking now at an Iowa State basketball program that's going to have not one but two top 10 recruiting classes in a row. Two. Pretty incredible. Thanks to our sponsor, Karl Chevrolet. Appreciate you guys listening and watching and doing all this great stuff. And we'll be back. We'll have a Corner 3 podcast coming up here in the next couple days. All right, I'm Chris Williams signing off. Have a great night. Enjoy the wins.